A very good morning to one and all present today. I, Vishal Sahai, Assistant Professor, DME Media School. Welcome Mr. Sanjay Kumar, Senior TV and Digital Journalist and Editor-in-Chief, International Finance Magazine, London. I also welcome Dr. Amrish Saxena, Dean, DME Media School, and all the faculty members and the students of Media School. I would like to take a moment to introduce Delhi Metropolitan Education to all our participants and guests. Delhi Metropolitan Education DME is a A-grade premier education institute affiliated to Guru Gobind Singh Indraprastha University, New Delhi, and approved by Bar Council of India. The institute offers BBA, BA LLB, and BBA LLB and BA JMC programs. DME believes in imparting world-class education to its students while training them to develop and enhance their skills. The education and the training enable them in taking up challenges of the industry and creating a space for themselves with their competence. DME Media School is one of the most promising media institutes in the country. It offers BA in journalism and mass communication. It is recognized as a school focused on the growth of its faculty and the students through academia and co-curricular activities. Session orientation program SOP is being conducted by Media School every year for third and fifth semester students. We invite experts from industry to speak on topic related to the curriculum of BA journalism and give students insight into the media industry. In the same contest, we have invited Mr. Sanjay Kumar, the senior TV journalist and digital journalist and editor-in-chief of Indian International Magazine, London. Sanjay Kumar Ji is a new media planner, having new media content planner, having 29 years of experience in top media organizations, including the Times Group, NDTV, the Hindustan Times, the India Today Group, Microsoft as the editor of MSN India and UK-based international finance publication as its editor-in-chief, presently working with the geospatialist world at the geotechnology of the media company as senior vice president cum managing editor. We are glad to have him with us today. Before I hand over the stage to Sanjay ji, I would request our Honorable Dean, Dr. Amrish Saxena, to please say a few words and set the tone of SOP 2023.
Thank you, Vishal. So we have entered this fourth day of SOP 2023, and the whole objective, as already has been explained, the whole objective of SOP is to orient the students in the subject that they are going to study in this semester. And we try to do it by inviting people from the industry, because whatever papers are there, teachers are there to teach them all. But if you get the perspective of the industry, that will also help. And that is how most of the industry people we have invited in different areas. And since this is a paper that you are studying in digital media, so Sanjay ji has been a journalist, has been working in media organization, news organization, but his expertise, his forte is that of the technology. And right from Microsoft to the TV news organizations, he has been handling that area particularly. So that's a different kind of blend wherein he has a insight into news as well as technology. And we all understand that technology, the way the technology is changing, the impact of AI which we can see on the news industry and in other parts of the media industry, that's very, very evident. So I believe that understanding of yours in this particular area will increase after attending this session of Mr. Sanjay Kumar. I welcome Mr. Sanjay Kumar once again to be here and to spare time for us. And I'm looking forward to have a beneficial session for everybody today. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your words. I would also like to tell you that on 16th September 2023, this Saturday, we are going to see the final episode of Vibrant India series VIS 2023 at 11 a.m. Our guest will be a known personality, waterman Rajendra Singh. Rajendra Singh is a water conversationist and the environmentalist of the international repute. He is also known as the waterman of India for his outstanding work in a water conversation. Now I request Amrish sir to please felicitate the guest of the day. I hand over the stage to our today's guest, Mr. Sanjay Singh. Sanjay Kumar sir, please.
Uh, you all are graduation students, I suppose. Okay. So, thank you very much, Amrish sir and DME Media School, for providing me this opportunity to interact with you people. And I will give a brief background about myself in addition to what sir has told, Amrish sir has told. So, this journey of digital journalism for me started in 1999-2000 when the world witnessed for the first time internet and .com. So, that was the time when I was working for the Pioneer newspaper in print, and that is when I decided to move to digital journalism in 1999. And but at that time the India was not prepared to accept such a big change of .com that you are seeing right now. So, the hype was so much created at that time that it seemed that in 1999-2000 that everything will change into .com, and there will nothing will be there except the .com. But the bubble didn't last for a very long time. It lasted only for 6 to 8 months, and all those shops which had opened, they started closing down, and only the big players of the industry remained in the market, and rest of them had to close down. And all of my journalist friends, my colleagues who had migrated from print at that time, because television was not a very popular medium at that time, it was still a Doordarshan. So, they started coming back to print thinking that this is something which is farce, this is something which is away from reality, and this is something which is not going to happen. So, they started coming back, they started returning to their core field from where they had gone. I was one of those who took it as a matter of fate and continued in the digital field ever since then, which gave a lot of advantage in the later stage of the career. So, why I said this small story about myself was because it is linked to one very pertinent question. Before coming to this topic, that use of digital media in promotion and branding, I just wanted to introduce digital media to you people, because you are a graduation students, fresh students who doesn't have much knowledge about the digital media. So, that is why my very first question was whether you are a master's student or a graduation student, so that the level of conversation happens accordingly. So, before coming to the actual topic, I would like to introduce this digital journalism to you people and see what are the various nuances of this journalism, how this medium is different from the print and electronic, what are its advantages, what are its disadvantages, and then we will come to the brand building and the promotion aspect of digital journalism. I would request everybody to let this session be very interactive, in the sense you can utilize me and my expertise and my experience by interacting more and more with me. So, instead of being a flow of knowledge or flow of information only from one side, let it be a two-way flow of information and exchange of ideas. So, that will always help both you as well as my delivery. So, what I would request you that please ask questions, please if you do not understand, please get up, or you can raise your hands, or you can intervene and say that can you explain this to me again. So, let it be an interactive session, interact as much as you can, and that is the way you would be able to utilize my presence of 1.5 hours or whatever it is properly. So, the question starts that we have 3 mediums of journalism, that is the print, electronic and online. Now, can anybody tell me that how these are different from each other? Do you have any idea that how print is different from online, or online is different from television, the electronic? So, what is the difference between the 3? Anybody?
So, the television, which is the traditional media, doesn't work on internet, and all the digital media uses internet.
Okay.
So that's the main difference.
What
between these
else?
two.
In terms of communication, since we are all the students of communication, and journalism is one of the methods to communicate with the people, with the citizens of this country and with the population around the world. So, in terms of communication, what is the difference between the 3? आप youngster हो, आप paper पढ़ते हो? You don't read. Do you see television?
No, sir.
Do you consume? So, where do you consume content from?
So online.
Online. Okay. But do you think that entire population of your age group all consume content from online? They do not see television, they do not see, they do not go to, they do not read newspaper or magazines?
So digital platforms, digital media provides a two-way communication, and whereas print media is more like a one-way communication, and same with the television.
Yeah,
as
that's
well.
very true. But can you elaborate a little how it is a two-way communication and how it is a one-way communication in case of
Sir,
yeah.
for example, on social media apps, we can comment on posts and stories and reels. And if we see a news, a column in a print newspaper, then we won't be able to comment on it until unless we send a feedback to them formally, something like that.
Very good, very good. Anybody else? So, what she said was one of the advantages which this medium has over the print and electronic, and what she said was very right. But in terms of the means of communication, the difference between the 3 medium is that print is a medium which deals with text. You communicate through text. लिखा हुआ चीज़ होता है ना अखबार में, मैगजीन में, with some amount of pictures. That is the way of communication. So, there is a text through which you communicate, you try to reach to your target audience, whatever it is. Then there is electronic, which communicate through audio and video. आप देख सकते हो, आप सुन सकते हो. That is what this whole medium is all about, electronic medium. But here comes a medium, that is the online medium, which combines both and presents it to the reader, which means that you can read, you can see in the form of video, and you can listen in the form of podcast or audio. So, ये अंतर है तीनों मीडियम में, and that is why ऑनलाइन मीडियम को मल्टीमीडिया डोमिनेटेड मीडियम कहा जाता है, बिकॉज इट यूजेस लॉट ऑफ ऑडियो एंड वीडियो along with its text. So, the audience has a liberty, whosoever is consuming the content has the choice to read it, to listen to it and to see it. So, this is the basic difference. Understand? Now, the question arises that why this medium which has become so important, which has become so popular nowadays, did not succeed when I joined in 1999 2000. Why did all the dot coms started closing down? Why did the bubble burst during that time? And why it has become so popular in the last 5 to 7 years or 10 years, whatever the period is. So, what is the change that is there that made this medium so successful, so popular in the entire world, and what was lacking at that time that it was not that popular during that time? Yeah, please.
एक्चुअली उस टाइम पे लाइक बैक इन दैट टाइम द इंटरनेट एक्सेसिबिलिटी नॉट अवेलेबल फॉर एवरीवन और उसकी कॉस्ट भी बहुत ज़्यादा थी. इफ़ यू हैव सीन लास्ट 5 to 7 years में आफ्टर जियो ब्रॉट डाउन द पैक्स डाउन लाइक इट ब्रोक द मार्केट डाउन, तो उसके बाद फिर एवरीवन इज़ लाइक नाउ ऑन इंटरनेट. अदरवाइज बिफोर दैट इफ़ आई could remember it was like 1 GB for 239 something, which even like it was only for a month available. Like we had to use that 1 GB for whole time, or if you needed unlimited internet, like we had to have a router at home or Wi-Fi through LAN or something. So अभी 5 to 7 years में internet हर जगह हो गया है. और also that devices now are much more tech friendly. Back in that you didn't have all the phone containing internet and all, but it was mostly a PC based thing, and not everyone used to open the PC her work for reading a news. Either you could watch TV or you could open a newspaper, right? But abhi you can easily take your phone out and log in into your IDs or something, or search on the Google. So yeah, so basic things are like the prices are down and it's the tech friendly era.
Very good, very good. Anybody else who wants to add? Yeah.
So, sir, I would say that this is evolution basically. So, earlier people were used to newspapers, like from the starting only they used to read newspapers. They were not so used of using internet. So, also there were no phones used that time. So, basically that is why it was not successful back then. But it is successful right now because India or what media has already developed a lot, and people have started using internet and computers. Back then they were only used to newspapers, and that was because this was not here already.
Okay. Nothing is coming from this side. Anybody from this side? Yeah.
Yeah, so I was saying that electronic media was already existing at that time. So digital media wasn't bringing anything new to the table. And it was a hassle for the people to access internet due to the lack of computers or smartphones, you can say. So it was not going towards comfort. So that's why it took a lot of time for people to actually adapt the new technology.
Okay. Okay. So, I mean, there is nothing wrong or right answer in such questions. Whatever you have said, that was your observation, and it is fairly right. So, the advantages that this medium enjoys over the electronic and the print are: number one, there is no limitation of a space in this medium. What does it mean, no limitation of a space? Yeah. So, basically what happens in the print medium, whether it is a newspaper or it is a magazine, there are certain word limits which are there to carry a particular story, a particular article. You cannot have a 3000 word or a 4000 word story on page 1, because that single story will occupy all the pages, all the space of the page 1, which is not ideal. The page 1 is or should have around 5 to 6 stories. So, for having 5 to 6 stories, this is what you see in newspaper. So, for having 5 to 6 stories, you need to cut down the length of the story. Okay. So, there are turns which are there in the newspaper, or you very often see, for the full text of this story, please log on to timesofindia.com or hindustantimes.com, and the URL is given. so that if you want to read the whole story, you can go to the online. So, what I want to say by giving these examples is basically that there is a limitation of space in the print media. Same is the case with the electronic media, there is a limitation of time. You cannot be broadcasting the same news for half an hour. A half an hour bulletin has to consist of 5 to 6 news. But there is one medium, that is the online medium, where you can have 2000 words story, you can have 3000 words story, it does not matter. So, there is no limitation of space. That is one another thing, that nobody would like to read a story of 3000 words. That is altogether a different aspect. But as far as the capacity is concerned, as far as the advantage is concerned, this is one very big advantage. The second advantage is that it can be accessed from anywhere in the world. Think of a situation around 25 years back, when you are a very avid reader of Times of India, you are a great fan of Times of India, and you go to New York for around 5 to 7 days, and you want that print edition to read. How do you read it? 25 years back, there was no internet edition available. So, there was no means, there was no method through which you can access Times of India in New York. So, that was the limitation of print. Same is the case with इलेक्ट्रॉनिक मीडिया. आप आज तक के बहुत बड़े फैन हो, आप ऑस्ट्रेलिया गए हुए हो 10 दिन के लिए, आप आज तक देखना चाहते हो. हाउ डू यू सी इट? 25 साल पहले कि 25 साल पहले की मैं बात कर रहा हूं. ऑनलाइन तो उस समय था ही नहीं 25 साल पहले. देयर इज नो वे यू कैन सी इट. लेकिन दिस इज वन मीडियम which can be accessed from anywhere in the world. कोई तिम्बकटू में बैठा हुआ है and he wants to see that what is happening in India, he can log on to timesofIndia.com or hindustantimes.com and see what is happening in India. So, that is another advantage that this medium has over the other. The third advantage is that domination of multimedia. You know, this is one medium where there are lots of visuals, there are lots of video, audio. So, all these things taken together are called multimedia. There are picture galleries. So, this is one medium where there is a domination of multimedia. Then it is the fastest medium as compared to the print and electronic. How it is fastest? So, when you get a news and you want to publish it, it takes few seconds to put up on a website. The same cannot happen in print and electronic. So, that is why it is called the fastest medium that is available to us. So, the breaking news banner that you see on any website, on Times of India, Hindustan Times, Indian Express, NDTV. So, whatever you see on the breaking news banner, which comes as a breaking news one liner, that is published in few seconds, maybe 30 to 40 seconds, not more than that. So, that is another advantage, that it is the fastest medium. Then another advantage is that it can be, the information can be updated 24 hours. What does it mean? हाँ, तो can you give me an example?
In the time of corona, like forget corona कि
Yeah.
अगर अभी जो भी like the train accident that happened.
Yeah.
Okay, so we couldn't wait for newspaper to update us the number of deaths or the casualties which are being found. Okay, so we had to wait for the next morning to come. But on the internet, you can easily find the updates. कि अच्छा अभी like these are the dead bodies found. What's the situation? Are the like ambulances there or not? So there is an instant updates even for the corona information. Like there are
Very
instant
good,
updates.
very
Okay,
good, yes.
and in that your broadcasting thing, the television, it is also an instant update. You can go live, but sometimes there are places where the broadcasting can't happen. For example, during Corona, no one was allowed to go out there. Okay,
Yeah, yeah.
so everything was available. Like, so now the broadcasting can happen, and you don't want to read the you don't want to wait for the newspaper for the next morning. Okay, to come and then you read. You want instant updates. So internet is there. They are ready to, like, you can read it. You may not be able to watch the live thing, but you get the instant updates of what's happening out there.
Very good, very good. Anybody else? So, what he said was perfectly all right. In fact, the print has a cycle of 24 hours. You know, if the deadline for releasing a print newspaper is 12:30 or 1, that is what generally it is. It has to be released, the pages has to be released by that time. Because if you do not release the pages on time, those timings are very sacrosanct, those timings are very strict. If you do not release the pages on time, it is going to create a lot of problem for the entire cycle, the chain that it goes through. The chain of, you know, the paper being printed, then being distributed to the various areas, then the hawkers taking up. So, entire chain gets disturbed. I still remember when I used to work for Pioneer and we used to make pages. अगर पेज वो रिलीज़ नहीं होता था टाइम पे, then the print people used to come from the printing press. They used to come and tell कि सर अगर आप टाइम पे रिलीज़ नहीं करोगे इन पेजेस को तो फिर आप ही बनाना और आप ही पढ़ना. Why? Because Pioneer was a small newspaper. उनका कैरी करने का जो था डिफरेंट प्लेसेस पे, इट हैड ए टाई अप विथ इंडियन एक्सप्रेस. तो वो इंडियन एक्सप्रेस की जो जीप आती थी उसका एक फिक्स टाइमिंग था. 1:30 या 2 बजे वो जो है सो कि लिंक हाउस आती थी. अगर उस समय पायनियर अखबार उनको नहीं मिलता था प्रिंट किया हुआ तो वो छोड़ के चली जाती थी. सो अल्टीमेटली वट एवर इज प्रिंटेड दैट विल रिमेन इन द ऑफिस ओनली एंड यू ओनली रीड इट. द कस्टमर्स वोंट बी और द पीपल वोंट बी एबल टू रीड इट. दिस इज वॉट ही बेट. So, the timings are very important. So, as a result of this, what happens that anything happening at around 1 or 1:30 or 2 is all likelihood cannot be carried in the print newspaper. It will be carried on the next day. Or say for example, what he cited, you know, the example where a story is developing, where an accident has taken place and the initial, you know, the information that comes says that 20 people have been injured. Now, after half an hour or 45 minutes, the information comes that 5 people have died. So, the print newspaper won't be able to update that story, whatever the development has taken place in that story, and will have to confine to the information that has been received at a particular time. और यही कारण है कि आप देखते होंगे कि बहुत सारे मैचेस में, क्रिकेट मैच में, टेनिस के मैच में जो कि ओवरनाइट होता है, वो पूरे मैच का जो है सो की रिपोर्ट नहीं देते हैं. वो देते हैं कि टिल 12:30, टिल 12 दिस इज व्हाट इट एग्जिस्ट. क्यों? क्योंकि उनका पेज का छोड़ने का समय हो जाता है, पेज का प्रिंट होने का समय हो जाता है, एंड दे कैन नॉट अफोर्ड टू delay the page. So, that is another advantage that the print medium, the online medium enjoys over the print, and that the information can be updated 24 hours. Then another very important, you know, advantage is the advantage of archiving. Now, what is this archiving? Yeah. So, what is that advantage which the online enjoys over the print and electronic?
Anyone can access the past records anytime. Like, you want to read the past story, like what happened back in that day. For example, if I want to read about the Arushi तलवार मर्डर केस एंड आई वांट टू रीड ऑल द कि इस डेट से स्टार्ट हुआ, फिर कौन सा न्यूज़ आर्टिकल लिखा गया, देन व्हाट वाज रिटन, तो वो मैं कभी भी देख सकता हूँ. बट इन द केस ऑफ न्यूज़पेपर आई वुड हैव टू गो टू द द ऑफिस एंड देन आस्क कि प्लीज़ आपके उस टाइम का कोई था क्या रिकॉर्ड, मतलब मुझे वो न्यूज़पेपर मिल सकता, तो दैट्स नॉट पॉसिबल फॉर मी. सो
What was your background prior to taking this admission in this course?
Nothing.
Huh?
student.
I mean, student in the sense that what was your subject in class 12?
Commerce.
Commerce. Where did you do your schooling from?
DPSG.
DPS?
G. Ghaziabad.
Ghaziabad. Okay. Good, very good. So, basically, archiving is what you all said very right, that looking into or going through the old editions of anything. You know, the example that he cited, that you want to see something which is old, something which has happened in the past, but how do you see that? So, that is another advantage which this medium enjoys over the print and electronic, that suppose if you want to see that at the time of independence in 1947, how the Times of India reported on that day, what was the headline that Times of India carried on that day. Is there any means that you can see that? You have to look into the print paper. Now, how to access the print paper? You will have to go to the Times House in ITO, you know, request them. They may allow, they may not allow. If you have a very strong reason for searching for that particular edition, they may allow. If you are a normal common man and you are just want to see because you want to see, they will say, oh, sorry, we don't have the bandwidth to address your, you know, request. Same is the case with television. अगर मान लो कि आपको ये देखना है कि इंडिया टुडे ग्रुप का जो टेलीविज़न है, आज तक है चाहे इंडिया टुडे है, वो बबरी मस्जिद का जब डेमोलिशन हुआ था तो हाउ दे हैड रिपोर्टेड. नाउ व्हाट इज़ द वे टू सी दैट? यू विल गो टू देयर ऑफिस, उनको रिक्वेस्ट भेजोगे. दे डू हैव कैसेट्स जो कि वो आर्काइव करके रखते हैं, लेकिन क्या डू यू थिंक दे विल मेक यू अवेलेबल? नो. For all practical purpose, it is not available, whether it is print newspaper or television. लेकिन this is one medium जो कि जब से शुरू हुआ है, of course जब शुरू नहीं हुआ था तो उसकी तो बात ही अलग है. जब से शुरू हुआ है उस समय से लेकर के आज तक जो कुछ भी पब्लिश हुआ है, you can go and see that. It is readily available in archive and you can refer to it very easily as a common man. किसी और चीज़ की ज़रूरत नहीं है. There are organizations, there are newspaper websites which charges some money for seeing their old editions, which is okay. Nothing in this world is free. So, if you are charging, they are charging 50 rupees or 25 rupees for that, that's quite genuine and quite logical. But you can see it. So, that is another, you know, very important advantages which this medium enjoys over the other two. Then feedback. Who was saying about the feedback? Yeah, that is another very important advantage which this medium has over the electronic and print. Print में क्या है? Suppose you read a story, you read a news, you read an article and you want to react to that article, कि what you have written is, you know, I don't agree to it, there is a different perspective that you want to give. Now, how do you react to it? You write a letter to the editor. अब 2 से 3 वो पब्लिश होता है एक एडिशन में. Now, you can well think of कि आपके लेटर का पब्लिश होने का कितना चांसेस है, जहाँ पे 2 या 3 लेटर केवल पब्लिश होता है. तो कौन बनेगा करोड़पति से भी ज़्यादा डिफिकल्ट है. यू नो, सेम इज द केस विद टेलीविज़न. कोई रिपोर्टर अगर कोई भी खबर जो है दिखला रहा है and you want to react and say that bullshit, what you are showing is nonsense. How do you do that? There is no way. But this is one medium, again the online medium, where you can give your feedback, you can instantly express your opinion, your views, and that opinion, that feedback is instantly published on the website. Of course, they put up some, you know, filter so that you don't write filthy words, you don't use unparliamentary language, क्योंकि बहुत तरह के लोग होते हैं, they get different pleasures in writing such words. तो उसके लिए कुछ फिल्टर लगाया होता है सॉफ्टवेयर में, सो दैट द कमेंट्स हैविंग दोज वर्ड्स विल गेट फिल्टर्ड एंड इट विल नॉट गेट पब्लिश्ड. बट अदरवाइज most of the feedbacks are automated, where whatever you give the feedback gets published. So, that is again a very important advantage that we see in this medium. ठीक है, समझ में आया? All understood? Any confusion? Nothing? Any clarification that you want? Yes, please. ओके. नाउ अब सवाल ये उठता है कि ये सारे एडवांटेज है, ये सारे एडवांटेज तो उस समय भी थे जब 1999 और 2000 में जब शुरू हुआ था ऑनलाइन मीडियम, .com जब शुरू हुआ था, तो उस समय ये क्यों नहीं इतना पॉपुलर हो पाया? व्हाट वेयर द रीजंस दैट एट दैट टाइम इट डिडंट सक्सीड एंड इट हैज सक्सीडेड नाउ 5 to 7 years back? Yeah, so you people have given certain points, but to let me give that, assemble all those points and put it in a structured way. So, the first reason is that you know, you need to have computers, you need to have machine to access internet. ठीक है, जब शुरू हुआ था. आज के दिन में you don't need computer to access internet. You can access internet on mobile phone, on a smartphone. But that was not the situation in 1999-2000 when it started. उस समय स्मार्टफोन नहीं था. So, India is called mobile first country because the penetration of internet had followed a certain pattern in America and Europe. What pattern? That people accessed internet for the first time on desktop, and then from desktop to laptop, tablets, and then mobile phone, smartphone. So, that was the pattern which was witnessed throughout Europe and America, but India was one country where a significant population, in fact the majority of the population experienced internet for the first time on mobile phone. वो सारा 3-4 जो बीच का था ना, दे सरपास्ड, दे डिडंट हैड एनी एक्सपीरियंस ऑफ डेस्कटॉप. उन्होंने डेस्कटॉप पे कभी काम नहीं किया, लैपटॉप पे कभी काम नहीं किया, और दे स्टार्टेड ऑपरेटिंग फेसबुक, एक्सेसिंग फेसबुक ऑन देयर मोबाइल फोन. So, that was their encounter, that was their experience with internet, and that is why India is called the mobile first country. और आज के दिन में आपको पता होगा, I don't need to say these very fundamental things, that internet का consumption have shifted drastically towards mobile, which was primarily the desktop and laptop has finally shifted to the mobile. So, majority of the people who are accessing content, who are consuming content on internet are doing through mobile platform. So, धीरे धीरे ये जब हम लोगों ने स्टार्ट किया था, उस समय ये चीज़ नहीं था. उस समय डेस्कटॉप पे सबसे ज़्यादा लोग साइट्स को एक्सेस करते थे, कंटेंट को कंज्यूम करते थे, बट आज के दिन में it is mobile, and that is why it is called the mobile first country. ठीक है. तो पहला कारण जो था वो ये था कि मशीन की कमी थी, lack of computers. So, computers at that time in early 2000 wasn't a phenomenon where it was considered as a household thing like fridge, telephone. Computer was still considered as something, you know, above that. सब लोगों के पास नहीं होता था. कंप्यूटर तो चाहिए इंटरनेट एक्सेस करने के लिए उस समय में. So, that was one factor which hindered its growth. The second was lack of education and English being the medium of internet. So, अंग्रेजी पढ़ने और जानने वालों की भी कमी थी, और कंप्यूटर चलाने के लिए एक मिनिमम अंग्रेजी का नॉलेज होना बहुत ज़रूरी था. So that was also lacking at that time. The third factor was the problem of connectivity, that is the lease and the landline. What one of our colleagues was just saying कि सस्ता हो गया, you were telling ना, it got cheap. That is a very important factor कि सस्ता हो गया. पहले क्या था, I still remember I started taking such classes, online journalism classes in 2002-2003, and that was the time when I started teaching in YMCA. There is an institute in Connaught Place, Young Men's Christian Association. तो उस वहाँ पे जब मैं जाता था तो as a resource person who was teaching online journalism, internet journalism, I wanted to access internet to show the students the various websites and talk about that. So at that time, such was the condition of line, internet line, that the direct telephone line used to be the internet line also. So during the time in which I used to access the internet, he was not able to receive any call or make any call to anybody that he wants. So that was the situation. So it was the same line which was there for telephone as well as for internet. And when you are accessing internet, you are doing something on internet, then you cannot make a call or receive any call. So that was the landline which people used. Lease line that we access today, आज के दिन में जो लाइन हम लोग 1000 रुपये 1200 रुपये में जो एक्सेस करते हैं 700-800 रुपये में, that is called the lease line, and that line was only confined to big offices. Times of India, Hindustan Times, जो इंटरनेट कंपनीज थी उनके पास होता था, बिकॉज इट यूज टू बी वेरी कॉस्टली. 20,000-22,000 उसके मंथली बिल्स होते थे. सो नो इंडिविजुअल कुड अफोर्ड दैट. तो ये जो है कनेक्टिविटी का जो प्रॉब्लम है, ये दैट वाज आल्सो अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट प्रॉब्लम ऑफ कनेक्टिविटी, दैट इज लीज लाइन और लैंडलाइन. ये भी जो है सो कि बहुत बड़ा कारण था. Then the lack of the basic infrastructure like power. 20 साल पहले even the condition of power supply was very bad. I still remember when I had come to Delhi from a different state to study here around what 87-88, 1987-88. So at that time there used to be a load shedding of 2.5 hours, 2 hours daily in Delhi. So that was the condition of a capital city, the national capital city. Now you can well think of what was happening in the rural areas and what was happening in other tier 2 and tier 3 cities. So that also hindered the growth and popularity of this medium. And then the cost of this medium, what he was saying that the coming of the Jio brought the cost drastically down, and that made everybody affordable to access this. So these were the regions which led to its unpopularity during that time. It could not succeed during this that time, and that were the regions that led to the success that I discussed at the first instance. So anything that you have not understood or anything that you want me to repeat or explain again, please go ahead. Otherwise, we will switch to the actual topic that has been decided, that is use of digital media in promotion and branding. तो अभी हम लोग जो बात कर रहे हैं समझ में आ रही है आप लोग को? आर यू एबल टू 100% या 80-90 तो है ना? दैट्स गुड, बिकॉज थैंक यू मैम, थैंक यू सो मच. because you know the interaction, such interactions, the basic objective is to that you should understand what is being talked. अगर वो सब ऊपर से निकल जाए तो फिर कोई फायदा नहीं है, मतलब the whole objective is defeated. And I talked about these very basic things because you are a fresher, you are new to this course, and if I had started with this, I thought that you know there would have been some gap. किसी भी वेबसाइट के लिए, किसी भी चाहे वो न्यूज़ का वेबसाइट हो या किसी कंपनी का वेबसाइट हो, व्हाटएवर, एनी पोर्टल, एनी वेबसाइट के लिए जो सबसे महत्वपूर्ण चीज़ है वो दो चीज़ें हैं. एक तो ये होता है कि आपकी ऑडियंस कितनी है, ठीक है, एंड द सेकेंड इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग इज दैट द ऑडियंस हाउ मच दे आर कंज्यूमिंग, हाउ मच दे आर कंज्यूमिंग द कंटेंट. Can anybody elaborate these 2 points? What does it mean in the context of internet sites? Audience का मतलब क्या हुआ? The traffic. Traffic का मतलब क्या हुआ? So audience means traffic, and traffic means the people who are coming to your website and consuming the content. ठीक है. कंजम्पशन का जो मैट्रिक्स है, कैसे पता लगेगा कि कौन कितना कंज्यूम कर रहा है, किस वेबसाइट का कंजम्पशन कैसा है, ज़्यादा है, कम है. नो, फीडबैक इज डिफरेंट थिंग. वो कैसे पता लगता है? कोई ज़्यादा वजन है किसी का, ये कैसे पता चलता है? किसी का कम वजन है, कैसे पता चलता है? आप केजी में उसको नापते हो ना, तभी तो आप कहते हो कि 50 केजी का है, वो 60 केजी का है. सो देयर इज अ unit of measurement that defines that who is heavier and who is lighter. Similarly, when we talk of consumption on the website, there is a unit of measurement which defines कि किस वेबसाइट का कितना कंजम्पशन है, and that unit of measurement is page views, PV जिसको कहते हैं, page views. Page views का क्या मतलब हुआ? कोई एक लिंक होता है किसी भी स्टोरी का, किसी भी कंटेंट का, तो लिंक ही होता है ना, URL जिसको कहते हैं, उस पर आप क्लिक करते हो, देन द होल पेज ओपन्स. नाउ दैट पेज विच ओपन्स एंड रेंडर्स फुली इज कॉल्ड वन पेज व्यू. तो एक आदमी 10 पेज व्यूज भी जनरेट कर सकता है, 50 भी कर सकता है, डिपेंडिंग अपॉन हिज यू नो द वे ही इज कंज्यूमिंग द कंटेंट ऑन अ वेबसाइट. तो ये दो पैरामीटर्स एक दूसरे से रिलेटेड हैं, एक दूसरे से जुड़े हुए हैं. वन इज द ट्रैफिक एंड द सेकेंड इज कंजम्पशन. ट्रैफिक इज द टोटल नंबर ऑफ पीपल हु आर कमिंग टू योर वेबसाइट, ठीक है, एंड कंजम्पशन इज बेसिकली हाउ मच पेज व्यूज दे आर जनरेटिंग, हाउ मच दे आर रीडिंग. दोनों एक दूसरे पे इसलिए कनेक्टेड हैं कि अगर किसी भी साइट को ग्रो करना है आपको, तो आपको पेज व्यू जो है सो कि बढ़ाना पड़ेगा. अगर एक कोई ए वेबसाइट है, वो अगर 5 मिलियन पेज व्यूज एक महीने में करता है, तो उसको नेक्स्ट महीने में 7 मिलियन करना चाहिए, 8 मिलियन करना चाहिए, एक साल में उसको 10 मिलियन करना चाहिए, तभी वो ग्रो करेगा. इसका टोटल जो रेवेन्यू मॉडल है, एक वेबसाइट कैसे पैसा कमाता है, अल्टीमेटली एड सेल से. तो एड सेल किस चीज पे डिपेंड करता है? हाँ, यस, इंप्रेशंस. इंप्रेशंस कैसे बढ़ते घटते हैं? या एसईओ इज समथिंग एल्स, वी विल कम टू इट. सो the entire model, revenue model of any website is the more page views you generate, the more money you earn. क्यों? वो क्लिक्स एक ही बात हुआ, मतलब क्लिक इज बेसिकली फॉर पेज व्यूज, पेज खुलता है क्लिक करने से, क्योंकि हर पेज पे एडवर्टीजमेंट होता है और जितने ज़्यादा एडवर्टीजमेंट रेंडर किए जाएंगे, जितने ज़्यादा एडवर्टीजमेंट लोग देखेंगे, उतना ज़्यादा पैसा आपके वेबसाइट पे आएगा।
सर पेपर क्लिक पे भी तो डिपेंड करता है ना वो।
जी,
पेपर क्लिक,
पे पर क्लिक वो कुछ और चीज़ है
सर वो उसी पे तो डिपेंड करता है ना कि एड्स कितना आपको रेवेन्यू जनरेट करके देगा।
नहीं, दैट इज अनदर थिंग, दैट इज अनदर थिंग। आई के पे पर क्लिक हुआ कि आपका जो टर्म्स एंड कंडीशंस जो है ना, कि आप जिसके साथ एडवर्टाइज कर रहे हो वो कंडीशन है कि मैं एक क्लिक पे 10 रुपये आपको दूंगा, ठीक है। तो आपके मान लीजिए आपका प्रोडक्ट है, आप हो जो एडवर्टाइज़र हो और मेरा जो है प्लेटफॉर्म है, और हमारे दोनों के बीच में जो ट्रीटी हुई, जो कॉन्ट्रैक्ट हुआ, ये हुआ कि मैं पे पर क्लिक आपको 5 रुपये दूंगा। मतलब मेरे वेबसाइट के थ्रू अगर 10 लोग करेंगे तो 50 रुपये आप मुझे दोगे। सो दैट इज़ पे पर क्लिक। इट इज़ अ डिफरेंट थिंग, देयर इट्स अ वेरी वास्ट थिंग, बहुत सारे एस्पेक्ट्स हैं। पे पर क्लिक इज़ अ टर्म विच इज़ यूज्ड इन दिस कंटेक्स्ट। एनीवे, सो अब सवाल ये उठता है कि पेज व्यूज को बढ़ाया कैसे जाए, क्योंकि जितना ज़्यादा पेज व्यूज बढ़ेगा उतना ज़्यादा रेवेन्यू आएगा, उतना ज़्यादा साइट जो है सो कि ग्रो करेगा। पेज व्यूज बढ़ाने का दो तरीका है। पहला तरीका यह है कि आप अपने ऑडियंस को ग्रो करो, आप अपने ट्रैफिक को ग्रो करो। अगर आपका 2 मिलियन का ट्रैफिक है, आपके वेबसाइट पे 2 मिलियन लोग आते हैं महीने में, तो इसको 2.2 एक महीने में कैसे करोगे, 2.5 कैसे करोगे, ये सोचना है आपको हरदम। और दूसरा तरीका है कि जो लोग आ रहे हैं उनका कंजम्पशन कैसे बढ़ाएं। समझे? अगर 2 मिलियन लोग आ रहे हैं आपके पास, तो वो कितना, मान लीजिए कि 10 मिलियन पेज व्यू जनरेट कर रहे हैं, तो वो 10 मिलियन को 12 पे कैसे पहुंचाए, 15 पे कैसे पहुंचाए और 17 पे कैसे पहुंचाए, दैट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट। सो एक तरफ जब ऑडियंस बढ़ेगा तो ऑब्वियसली जब ऑडियंस 5 से 7 होगा तो 2 मिलियन जो एक्स्ट्रा होगा वो ज़्यादा, 2 मिलियन वो कंज्यूम करेगा कंटेंट को, तो पेज व्यू जो है सो कि बढ़ेगा। और जो एग्जिस्टिंग जो है उसका भी अगर आप कंजम्पशन बढ़ाते हो तो पेज व्यू जो है सो कि बढ़ेगा। अब आपको ये सोचना है कि ये कैसे करें हम, व्हाट आर द वेरियस वेज इन विच दिस कैन बी डन। तो आज के दिन में देर आर 2 वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग्स विच इज लिंक टू दिस वेरी टॉपिक दैट वी आर डिस्कसिंग टुडे। वो ये है कि वेबसाइट पे डायरेक्ट ट्रैफिक जो है इज डिक्लाइनिंग डे बाय डे। व्हाट डज इट मीन? You are putting up one term after the another without understanding what does it mean. These are, organic is something else.
Sir,
I will
direct-
come to organic, but that is not the thing.
सर डायरेक्ट ट्रैफिक तो ऑर्गेनिक ही होता है ना, जब डायरेक्ट आपकी वेबसाइट पे कोई भी आ रहा होता है।
Organic and inorganic traffic is basically, the difference between the two is organic which grows on its own, and inorganic is something in which you put money, you do marketing, you do various things, you spend money to grow that. So that is inorganic. This is the difference between the two. So please leave that. I don't want to go into organic and inorganic. My question was that the traffic to a website, direct traffic to a website is declining. Now that means, what does this term mean that direct traffic to the website is declining? It means that people are not typing the URL of the website to visit a website and consume content. It means this. It has got nothing to do with organic or inorganic. So ज़्यादातर लोग जो है वो कंटेंट वैसे कंज्यूम नहीं कर रहे हैं। पहले था, आज से 15 साल 20 साल पहले ऐसा था कि पीपल यूज टू टाइप द URL timesofindia.com और hindustantimes.com और ndtv.com, और वो वेबसाइट को एक्सेस करते थे और कंज्यूम करते थे कंटेंट को। नाउ this is not happening. Now what is happening? What is happening is that people are going to various social media platforms. Social media platforms pe they are doing different activities. They are interacting with their friends, their relatives, whatever I mean the objective or purpose of their being on the social media is, they are doing that. और वहाँ से उनको कोई रिलेवेंट कंटेंट मिलता है, उनके इंटरेस्ट का कोई कंटेंट मिलता है, तो वहाँ से वो उसको कंज्यूम करते हैं. यू अंडरस्टैंड द डिफरेंस? वो न्यूज़ पढ़ते हैं, लेकिन वो टाइम्स ऑफ इंडिया वेबसाइट को टाइप करके डायरेक्टली जा करके न्यूज़ हम नहीं पढ़ते. वो कहाँ से पढ़ते हैं? वो फेसबुक पे जाते हैं, लिंक्डइन पे जाते हैं, वो ट्विटर पे जाते हैं, और वो न्यूज़ पढ़ने के लिए फेसबुक पे नहीं जाते हैं. दे आर गोइंग फॉर अ डिफरेंट पर्पस, और वहाँ पे उनको जो भी कंटेंट उनके इंटरेस्ट का मिलता है उसको वो कंज्यूम करते हैं. So this is the new trend which is happening in last 5 years, 7 years. ठीक है, तो किसी भी वेबसाइट का जो ट्रैफिक है वो अराउंड 35 to 40% is coming through the social media platforms. And the major social media platforms that we will be talking about is the 4 social media platforms, that is the Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and LinkedIn. और यही कारण है कि आप देखते होंगे कि वेदर यू आर एन एजुकेशनल इंस्टीट्यूट और यू आर ए न्यूज़पेपर और यू आर रनिंग ए स्कूल और यू आर डूइंग एनी वोकेशन, वेदर यू आर सेलिंग ए सोप और सर्फ और whatever, but you cannot do away with the social media platforms. सोशल मीडिया प्लेटफॉर्म्स को आप इग्नोर नहीं कर सकते हो. क्यों नहीं कर सकते हो? इसलिए नहीं कर सकते हो कि वर्ल्ड का 60% ऑफ द पॉपुलेशन किसी न किसी सोशल मीडिया प्लेटफॉर्म्स पे अवेलेबल होता है एट वन पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम. 60%. तो आप क्या बेच लोगे 60% को अगर इग्नोर कर दोगे तो? कुछ भी नहीं कर सकते. एंड दैट इज वाई सोशल मीडिया हैज बिकम सो इंपॉर्टेंट. लॉजिक समझ में आ रहा है? Consumption is happening through social media, and this is the reason that any media house, whether it's Times of India, Hindustan Times, NDTV, उनका जो है सो कि कंसंट्रेशन, उनका अपडेशन जो है पोस्टिंग सोशल मीडिया प्लेटफॉर्म्स पे बहुत ही हाईली एक्टिवली होता है, बिकॉज दैट इज़ वेयर द कंजम्पशन इज़ हैपनिंग. अब इसमें एक चीज़ और हुई है, वो ये हुआ है कि आज से 15-20 साल पहले, जब 15 साल पहले इनफैक्ट, व्हेन दे स्टार्टेड यूजिंग सोशल मीडिया प्लेटफॉर्म्स, so the social media platforms like Facebook, Twitter, they didn't used to charge any money from these media houses. ठीक है, वो अपने कंटेंट को फ्री में प्रमोट करते थे और जितना हो सके वो लोग जो है सो कि ग्रो करते थे. लेकिन आज के दिन में they have started charging money from these media houses, because these social media platforms realized कि अरे ये तो टाइम्स ऑफ इंडिया, हिंदुस्तान टाइम्स, दे आर अर्निंग इन करोर्स बिकॉज ऑफ मी. दे आर यूजिंग माई प्लेटफॉर्म टू गेन पॉपुलैरिटी, टू यू नो टू इंक्रीज देयर कंजम्पशन, और हमें तो कुछ भी नहीं दे रहे हैं. And that is how around 5 to 6 years back they started charging money for the promotion of these content. कि बोला आप फ्री में बहुत हो गया, अब पैसे दो, तभी आपके इस कंटेंट को हम प्रमोट करेंगे. And that was the time when the traffic coming from social media platforms fell drastically, क्योंकि these media houses were not willing to give money. और जब पैसा नहीं दिया तो इन्होंने प्रमोट करना छोड़ दिया उसको. ठीक है, तो आज के दिन में दे ऑल हैव टू पे. अब उसमें भी दो तरह की चीजें हैं. एक पेमेंट है आपको, एक है आपका जो आप पोस्ट करते हो सोशल मीडिया पे, दैट इज विदाउट एनी पेमेंट. सो दैट इज ऑर्गेनिक ट्रैफिक. what he was talking about, कि ऑर्गेनिकली वो ग्रो करेगा, उसको कुछ. देन देर इज इनऑर्गेनिक ट्रैफिक व्हेन यू पे. तो इनऑर्गेनिक ट्रैफिक कैसे होगा? जब आप पे करोगे तो इट विल स्ट्रेंथन योर रीच, इट विल मैक्सिमाइज योर रीच. अगर मान लो ऑर्गेनिकली अगर आपको वो 10,000 लोगों तक पहुंचा रहे हैं, तो इनऑर्गेनिकली व्हेन यू पे योर रीच विल गो अप टू 50,000 people. So that is how it happens. So एक तो ये सोशल मीडिया प्लेटफॉर्म है. दूसरा जो है आपको सर्च इंजन ऑप्टिमाइजेशन है. नहीं, वेबसाइट वो तो उनका एल्गोरिथम होता है, वो तो सॉफ्टवेयर है जो कि इंक्रीज करता है और डिक्रीज करता है. तो वो तो उनका अपना, दैट इज अ थिंग ऑफ आईटी. अपना कोडिंग उस तरह से करते होंगे कि वो अगर बिना पैसे वाला है तो वो जो है सो कि लिमिटेड लोगों को दिखे, पैसा वाला है तो वो सारे वर्ल्ड को दिखे, कुछ उस तरह से कोडिंग करते होंगे. वो तो कोडिंग उनका अपना होता होगा, उस तरह से सॉफ्टवेयर की कोडिंग होती होगी जिसके आधार पे वो ऐसा होता होगा. एनीथिंग एल्स?
हम अपनी ऑर्गेनिक ग्रोथ को मैक्सिमाइज नहीं कर लेते हैं, तब तक क्या इन ऑर्गेनिक एक्चुअली उतना बेनिफिट देती है?
Yeah, that's a very good question. And this is what is happening nowadays. किसी से भी बात करो ऑफिसेज में ना, तो वो हरदम उनका रोना यही होता है कि सर कंपनी पैसा तो देती नहीं, हम कहाँ से ग्रो करें इसको, पैसा तो लगाती नहीं कंपनी, सर बजट ही इतना कम है, सर 10,000 का बजट है महीने का, अब 10,000 में हम क्या कर लेंगे आप बताओ. यू नो, सो इट्स द सेम थिंग. एंड आई हैव ऑलवेज फेल्ट कि दैट हिंडर्स द ऑर्गेनिक ग्रोथ. आप ऑर्गेनिकली कुछ करने के लिए तैयार ही नहीं हो. आप हरदम, आपको लगता है कि अगर ग्रो करना है तो पैसा लगा के ही हो सकता है, अदरवाइज नहीं हो सकता, विच इज नॉट द केस. ऑर्गेनिकली पहले, यू आर वेरी राइट, कि ऑर्गेनिकली पहले जो है सो कि कोशिश करना चाहिए आदमी को, और उसके बहुत सारे तरीके हैं. ठीक है, ये इतना वास्ट है कि हर चीज़ पे एक एस्पेक्ट पे एक क्लास हो सकता है. ऑर्गेनिकली जो है सो कि ग्रो करने के लिए आप एक रेगुलर इंटरवल में पोस्ट भेजो. ठीक है, आपका हर जो पोस्ट है उसको जो है सो कि अच्छे विजुअल्स के साथ भेजो. ठीक है, जितने प्लेटफॉर्म है उसके कैरेक्टरिस्टिक को जानो कि किस प्लेटफॉर्म का क्या रिक्वायरमेंट है, किस तरह की चीज़ें वो पब्लिश करता है. इन द सेंस कि जैसे मान लो आप इंस्टाग्राम है, इंस्टाग्राम इज़ अ वेरी विजुअल हैवी प्लेटफॉर्म, तो वहाँ पे बिना पिक्चर का कोई भी कंटेंट नहीं चल सकता. बट ट्विटर पे अगर आप पिक्चर ना भी डालो तो भी चलेगा. सो यू नो, थिंग्स लाइक दैट विच नीड्स टू बी प्रॉपरली अंडरस्टूड एंड प्रॉपरली जो है सो कि तो ऑर्गेनिकली जो है ग्रो करना, you are right, is very important, and we should all try to grow organically before putting up money for inorganic growth. ठीक है. सो दूसरा जो तरीका है इन चीज़ों को बढ़ाने का, ऑडियंस का और पेज व्यूज़ का, वो तरीका है थ्रू सर्च इंजन ऑप्टिमाइजेशन. किसी को आइडिया है व्हाट इज दिस सर्च इंजन ऑप्टिमाइजेशन? एसईओ? हाँ, yes, you are right. So how does it function? What is the basic principle?
सर द कीवर्ड्स जो हम इसमें यूज़ करते हैं न्यूज़ के टर्म्स में, लाइक जो लोग सर्च कर सकते हैं. जैसे हम कुछ पॉलिटिक्स पे लिख रहे हैं और वो पीएम नरेंद्र मोदी के बारे में है, तो हम उसमें पीएम मोदी अगर लिखेंगे सर्च एसईओ में, तो वो लोग सर्च करेंगे पीएम मोदी न्यूज़ समथिंग करके, तो वो हमारे पेज, मतलब उस पेज पे लोग जा सकते हैं वहाँ पे. तो कीवर्ड सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट होता है एसईओ में.
एनीथिंग एल्स?
सर टैगिंग्स
तो
भी.
कीवर्ड कैसे आप डिटरमाइन करोगे कि इंपॉर्टेंट तो है, लेकिन आप कैसे ये सेलेक्ट करोगे कि ये कीवर्ड जो है मोस्ट अप्रोप्रिएट है? हाँ, ठीक है.
या और सर एसईओ बेसिकली मींस कि आपका जो सर्च रिजल्ट है वो टॉप पे आना चाहिए.
हाँ, बिल्कुल.
सो दैट डिपेंड्स ऑन द कीवर्ड्स, राइट?
हाँ.
एंड व्हाट टाइम यू आर पोस्टिंग एंड व्हाट इज द करंट सिनेरियो.
हाँ, सो दैट इज ऑल राइट. माय क्वेश्चन वाज कि टॉप में कैसे आएगा इफ वी हैव द प्रॉपर कीवर्ड. प्रॉपर कीवर्ड क्या होता है? सो हाउ इट फंक्शंस, आप देखिए आज के दिन में अभी सबसे अगर देखें तो सबसे ट्रेंडिंग जो खबर है वो क्या, भारत और इंडिया का जो चल रहा है कंट्रोवर्सी. मैं जस्ट एक हाइपोथेटिकल एग्जांपल ले रहा हूँ, उससे भी ट्रेंडिंग कुछ और भी हो सकता है. सो दैट इज समथिंग विच इज हैपनिंग, लॉट ऑफ डिबेट इज गोइंग. आप उस पर स्टोरी फाइल कर रहे हैं इंडिया और भारत पे, उस कंट्रोवर्सी पे. नाउ वाइल पुटिंग अप द कीवर्ड, सब लोगों ने बोला कि कीवर्ड से होता है, कीवर्ड से होता है, बिल्कुल. टैग से होता है, टैग से होता है, देयर इज नो डिनाइंग दैट फैक्ट. लेकिन वो कीवर्ड क्या होना चाहिए, दैट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. आप क्या वो कीवर्ड डालोगे ताकि सर्च इंजिन में आपकी रैंकिंग हाई हो, फर्स्ट पेज पे हो, जो आप बोल रहे थे. फर्स्ट पेज पे होना इसलिए इंपॉर्टेंट है क्योंकि फर्स्ट पेज के अलावा कोई दूसरे पेज पे जाता ही नहीं है क्लिक करने. सो इफ योर कंटेंट कम्स ऑन द फर्स्ट पेज, देन ओनली पीपल विल क्लिक. इसीलिए इट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट दैट योर कंटेंट कम्स ऑन द फर्स्ट पेज. ठीक है, तो वो कीवर्ड जब आप सेलेक्ट करते हो तो उस कीवर्ड में यू हैव टू कीप इन माइंड वन वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग, कि कोई भी व्यक्ति उस कंटेंट को सर्च करने के लिए सर्च इंजन में जा करके क्या टाइप करेगा. ठीक है, अगर मान लो ये जो एग्जांपल हम लोगों ने भारत और इंडिया वाली जो दी, उस स्टोरी को सर्च करने के लिए कोई क्या टाइप करेगा, भारत करेगा, इंडिया करेगा, भारत इंडिया मोदी करेगा, G20 करेगा. ठीक है, सो एज ए कॉमन मैन यू हैव टू थिंक दैट what will you type to search for this story, and that keyword should be there in the keyword field, that word should be there in the headline, that word should be there in the body text. URL में होगा क्योंकि हेडलाइन जनरली जो है सो कि URL बनाता है, तो जो आप हेडलाइन में दोगे टेक्स्ट वही उसका URL बन जाता है, अंडरस्कोर करके जो है सो कि आता है. क्योंकि गूगल क्रॉलर जो है, जो एसईओ के लिए सारे साइट्स को क्रॉल करता है, वो कोई भगवान तो है नहीं, ना ही वो कोई ऐसा सुपर नेचुरल चीज है. इट्स ए मशीन, इट्स ए सॉफ्टवेयर. मशीन वही डिलीवर करती है, वही रिजल्ट देती है जो कि जिस तरह से इंसान उसको फीडबैक देता है, जिस तरह से इंसान उसको इनपुट देता है. सो आउटपुट इज ऑलवेज ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ द इनपुट विच द ह्यूमंस हैव गिवन. और यही कारण है कि एसईओ में पेज का टाइटल, पेज का डिस्क्रिप्शन, ये भी बड़ा इंपॉर्टेंट हो जाता है. होम पेज जो होता है उसका टाइटल क्या है, उसका डिस्क्रिप्शन क्या है, उससे पता चलता है कि किस तरह का ये वेबसाइट है. ठीक है, तो वो कीवर्ड्स जब आपके हेडलाइन में होंगे, आपके बॉडी कॉपी में होंगे, तो क्रॉलर को पता चलेगा कि किस तरह का कंटेंट है, इस कंटेंट में क्या है, एंड देन द क्रॉलर वुड बी एबल टू गिव रिजल्ट. हाँ हाँ, वही तो मैं बोला, बॉडी टेक्स्ट वही हुआ ना. जैसे कि आप भारत और इंडिया की हम लोग बात कर रहे थे, डेंसिटी का क्या मतलब हुआ, व्हाट इज डेंसिटी?
The amount of time we use a keyword.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
a density.
So that is density. So
That depends upon the word count as well.
So जैसे बॉडी टेक्स्ट जो है उसमें भारत और इंडिया कितनी बार आया. अब कितनी बार आने का मतलब ये है, ये नहीं है कि अब आप पूरा स्टोरी जो है भारत इंडिया लिख दो. You can't do that. That is something which is against journalism. So you have to very meticulously, you have to very intelligently try to use it wherever it can be used appropriately. So अगर केवल कोई कंटेंट का आदमी नहीं होगा, केवल एसईओ का आदमी अगर आकर के आपको लेक्चर देगा ना, तो वो बोलेगा कि 50 बार लिखो. बट एज ए कंटेंट पर्सन आई अंडरस्टैंड कि आप 50 बार नहीं लिख सकते हो उसको. 50 बार भारत इंडिया लिखोगे तो आपकी स्टोरी को पढ़ेगा कौन? यू नो, देयर हैज टू बी सम, लिखने का भी तो एक अपना तरीका है ना, एक रिदम है. आप लिख केवल एसईओ के लिए तो रहे नहीं हो, अल्टीमेटली यू आर राइटिंग फॉर द ऑडियंस टू रीड। तो लिखने का एक अपना तरीका है। तो आज के दिन में ये जो ब्रांड बिल्डिंग है और ये प्रमोशंस जो है, उसमें इन दोनों चीज़ों का, डिजिटल मीडिया के ये दोनों टूल्स जो हैं, दैट इज सर्च इंजन ऑप्टिमाइजेशन एंड सोशल मीडिया प्लेटफॉर्म्स, आर playing a very, very important role. And you need to understand the characteristics of these social media platforms also. Characteristic की जब हम लोग बात करते हैं तो हमें ये देखना होगा कि फेसबुक एक ऐसा प्लेटफॉर्म है जो कि मैं भी हूँ, मेरे पिताजी भी हैं और मेरे बच्चे भी हैं। You know, it's the 3 generations who are there because that was the first platform to come. So उसका जो कैरेक्टर है वो स्लाइटली डिफरेंट है, एंड दैट इज वाई एनी कंटेंट, सब तरह के कंटेंट को कंज्यूम करने के लिए वहां पे देर आर सेट ऑफ पीपल हु आर सिटिंग टू रीड दैट, लेकिन इट डज नॉट फॉलो द सेम प्रिंसिपल व्हेन यू टॉक ऑफ लिंक्डइन. लिंक्डइन इज अ वेरी प्रोफेशनल साइट. It's a site which is frequented by professionals, the educated people, the people who are, you know, in different vocation, and the basic objective of that site is to grow your network, use your network for your advancement of your career. अब आपको देखना है कि वो जो फेसबुक में स्टोरी जो चल गई या फेसबुक में जो कंटेंट चला, क्या वो लिंक्डइन में चलेगा? ठीक है. सिमिलरली Twitter has its own nature. It has got much more to do with the breaking news, with debate happening. Everybody is expressing his or her own opinion. Lot of exchange of ideas is happening there. बड़े बड़े नेता, बड़े बड़े celebrities जो है, they are giving a statement, they are breaking news on that platform, on Twitter. So Twitter is both a platform where lot of news thing is happening. तो न्यूज़ वाले कंटेंट अगर आप वहाँ पे प्रमोट करोगे तो इट इज लाइकली टू बी कंज्यूम्ड मोर. सिमिलरली इंस्टाग्राम है. इंस्टाग्राम इज वन प्लेटफॉर्म विच इज फ्रिक्वेंटेड बाय द यंगस्टर्स. अब आपको ये सोचना है कि इंस्टाग्राम पे किस तरह का कंटेंट जो है सो कि प्रमोट करें. अब यंगस्टर्स को क्या अच्छा लग सकता है, दैट यू हैव टू थिंक. उनको क्या मूवी रिव्यू अच्छा लगेगा, स्मार्टफोन की कोई स्टोरी अच्छी लगेगी, इंटरटेनमेंट अच्छा लगेगा. हाँ, ठीक है. सो दैट यू हैव टू थिंक, एंड योर इनिशियल थिंकिंग has to be complemented and supplemented by what he said is analytics. What is this analytics? Analytics is basically a tool, a software जो Google provide करता है, in-house भी होता है बहुत लोगों का, through which you know the consumption pattern, you see the consumption pattern, that what type of content people are consuming from my side, what type of people are coming to my site, in the sense that what is their demography, age क्या है उनका, whether they are male, they are female, from which geographical regions they are coming. तो वो सारी चीज़ों को आप जितना ज़्यादा स्टडी करोगे ना, उतना ज़्यादा उनके हिसाब से कंटेंट को आप प्रोवाइड कर सकते हो, अकॉर्डिंग टू देयर कंजम्पशन नेचर, according to their pattern of consumption, according to their likes and dislikes. So brand building में it is proving to be very, very beneficial, particularly for the startups who cannot spend much money. Social media platforms are coming handy, जहाँ पे बहुत ज़्यादा पैसे की ज़रूरत नहीं है अपनी पब्लिसिटी के लिए, ऑर्गेनिकली आप ग्रो कर सकते हो. People are boasting of the likes that they receive, the followings that they have, so much so that एक इन्फ्लुएंसर का नाम आपने सुना होगा, There is a term called influencer. क्या होता है influencer? हाँ, so आज के दिन में उसकी भी काफ़ी प्राथमिकता बढ़ गई है. People are relying much more on influencer for the promotion of their product than anything else. So that is what it brings an end to this session. Anything, any question?
Sir, do you think that technologies like artificial intelligence will have an impact on new age media?
So obviously it will have an impact on media, there is no doubt in that. But you know, the type of aura that is being created, that it will replace the human, there won't be any jobs in the market, I don't think that is something which is going to happen. It was the same thing which was being said about computers when it came to India or around the world, that you know, people will be unemployed, there won't be any jobs available when the computer came. And there were many states, many politicians who opposed that. Mr. Mulayam Singh Yadav was one from Uttar Pradesh who opposed the introduction of computer. So of course artificial intelligence and all those things are going to impact the online medium, but machine on its own doesn't do anything. I told you at the very beginning, it is only on the basis of the input that we provide to the machine, the output comes. So machine will only supplement and strengthen the work what the human beings are doing. It can never be a replacement for what we do. Anything else? Yeah.
अभी आपने जैसे आंसर किया यू सेट की और यू आंसर इस क्वेश्चन की एआई का एज सच इम्पैक्ट नहीं होगा जैसे भी क्रिएट हो रहा है बट एज द नेम सजेस्ट आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस इज गोइंग टू हैव इट्स ओन इंटेलिजेंस और things are going on जैसे Netflix is having a fight right now. There is a strike going on with writers because it has reduced its pay after the AI came, because AI using the AI to write the scripts. Not just that, AI just created advertisements and it's creating graphic. Even Adobe, like the Adobe software जिसकी ट्रेनिंग के लिए बहुत साल लगते थे and the work which people took hours to do, Adobe ने AI वो सारी चीज़ें like you just have to type, you have to like create a वहाँ एक सर्कल टाइप क्रिएट करके Adobe is using AI because वही सारा वो उस परफेक्शन के साथ कुछ ही देर में रिजल्ट्स दे रहा है. सो AI is having even the creator of AI itself said कि Google, who worked in Google, who created the AI for Google, he said कि Google was not releasing AI because it's sane, it's capable of doing things which we can't even imagine. And but after ChatGPT came, so just to survive there is they released the AI. But after all that, he said that it's much more worse. So I think that AI will.
Yeah, see, I am not saying that it will not have an impact at all. What I am saying is that the hype that has been created is not fair. That it will completely eliminate, no, only machine will do. It has already impacted. I have worked for Microsoft for 6 years, and MSN, the site for which I worked, has used AI to automate the whole site. Okay. So, but the algorithm which was made for the AI to function, to update the site, were done by us. We are not IT professional, I am a journalist, I am a content person. So, it was I or my team defined how the algorithm of the AI will work. So, what I am trying to say, I am not negating what you are saying, it will certainly have an impact. Maybe where 10 people were working for updating the site, only 5 people are required. Okay. But to say that it will completely replace the human being and human being will have no utility in the context of the technology, that is which I am not yet ready to buy. I may be wrong, maybe 5 years down the line I will buy that argument also if the reality exists. But right now I still feel that the technology can only deliver with the collaboration of the human beings. Without human beings, the technology cannot deliver. So I have seen that use of AI in msn.com. So, all the rules of the updation of the site were defined by us. So, it was human beings who identified how the updation will happen. If I get a chance, I will tell you how we defined the rules, because it is a long process. It will take another half an hour, which I do not have right now. So, I will certainly if I get a chance, I will explain to you that how it is done and how there is a close collaboration between human beings. And so, it works on the process of refinement. The result that it gives is again refined by human beings only. आप जो एल्गोरिथम बताते हो, जो रूल्स सेट करते हो, उसके हिसाब से रिजल्ट आता है. वो रिजल्ट परफेक्ट नहीं होता है. फिर आप अपने रूल्स को फिर मॉडिफाई करते हो, फिर उसके बेसिस पे वो रिजल्ट देता है. तो जितना ज़्यादा आप मॉडिफाई करोगे उतना परफेक्शन उसके रिजल्ट्स में आता चला जाएगा. तो देख रहे हो एआई फंक्शन कर रहा है, बट वो रिफाइनमेंट जो है वो तो ह्यूमन बीइंग ही कर रहा है ना उसको. तो हमारे बिना तो वो नहीं रिफाइन कर सकता है अपने रिजल्ट्स को.
एक लास्ट क्वेश्चन की which I read are कि जो like the content written through AI, the Google doesn't like rank it, मतलब SEO में it doesn't work for that, like the for that particular content, the websites which have content written by AI won't, the SEO won't work for them. Is it true?
It is very true, because Google का वो एक क्राइटेरिया ही है कि SEO में रैंक करने के लिए the content has to be original. AI तो ओरिजिनल कंटेंट तो अपना प्रोड्यूस नहीं करता है ना, वो तो रिहैच करता है. सारे जो यूनिवर्स में जितने कंटेंट हैं उसको लेकर के वो रिहैच करता है. सो ऑब्वियसली इट विल नॉट रैंक इट. सो द वेबसाइट विच इज यूजिंग AI फॉर द अपडेशन ऑफ द साइट और फॉर कंटेंट जनरेशन will lose a substantial amount of traffic, because Google will not rank it. Okay, thank you very much, and if the situation permits, we will meet again and do some more interesting talks. I hope you benefited from whatever was taught and whatever was done. Thank you very much for being such a good audience. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Nowadays की जो टॉपिक आज का था वो आप लोगों के लिए बड़ा इंटरेस्टिंग था और आप लोगों से बहुत जुड़ा हुआ था, क्योंकि आप जो डिजिटल को बहुत मतलब पढ़ाई से ज़्यादा डिजिटल पे रहने वाले लोग हैं आप लोग, ठीक है. और जिसे कह सकते हैं हम लोग बिफोर गूगल एंड आफ्टर गूगल, BG and AG. So I'm so much impressed with Shri Rastogi research, Jay Sirohi research, and Shri Rastogi and Rashi. बहुत कुछ मैंने भी सीखा आपके से. AI का यूज़ जो है, तो दिस इज़ कॉल्ड अ प्रिपरेशन, कि आप जब किसी भी लेक्चर के लिए आते हैं, थोड़ा सा पढ़ के आते हैं, तो जब उसमें जो एक्सपर्ट है उसमें वो जो बात करते हैं तो आप उस पर इनिशिएट कर सकते हैं, पार्टिसिपेट कर सकते हैं. आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस की बात AI की हर कोई करता है, लेकिन फर्स्ट इंडियन मूवी जो अभी AI पे बनी, पता है कौन सी है? और सब गए हैं देखने, बहुत लोग गए हैं. जिसपे इतनी बड़ी कंट्रोवर्सी हो गई रामायण को लेके. तो ये छोटी छोटी चीज़ें हैं जो मैं यहाँ बैठ के आशा मैम के साथ जब अभी बात कर रहे थे, तो बहुत सारी सर की जो इम्पोर्टेंट चीज़ें थी वो हमने नोट डाउन भी की. तो यही चीज़ है कि, और यही चीज़ आपको करनी है. अभी ऑर्गेनिक डेटा की बात की जा रही थी, तो शुभी ने मुझसे पूछा कि न्यूज़ चैनल ऑर्गेनिक डेटा पे बात ही नहीं करते, वो तो सिर्फ फेक ही चलता है, उनको पैसा खर्च करना है. ठीक है, चलता है, लेकिन ऑर्गेनिक डेटा को सस्टेन कराना, वेबसाइट तक पहुंचाना, इट्स अ आर्ट. डिजिटल सब कुछ कर सकते हैं हम लोग, लेकिन ऑर्गेनिक डेटा को मेंटेन रखना इज आर्ट। तो जब आप इन चीज़ों को ज़्यादा पढ़ेंगे तो ही आप सीख सकते हैं। फ्यूचर डिजिटल का है, ये मानिए। अगर आपको सरवाइव करना है तो अपने आप को डिजिटल में कन्वर्ट करना पड़ेगा। सो अगेन थैंक यू वेरी मच सर फॉर योर valuable session, and I request Asha ma'am, assistant professor, DME Media School, please deliver the vote of thanks and bring the amazing session to your formal end, ma'am.
Thank you, Vishal sir. I think Vishal sir has already given a vote of thanks. I don't need to elaborate much about it. Thank you so much, sir, for taking out time from your busy schedule and interacting with students. I would like to share this. This is the, we are having so many sessions. This is the session where students has participated in this amount. So I would like you to clap for yourself and thank you so much for making this session so interactive. And the credits goes to you only. You made it possible. You were interacting throughout the session. I was writing so many points. You have not only helped these students, but also as a faculty of new media, I am thankful to you. You have already set a base for us. They know the terms that they need to use. So they are very familiar with it. So thank you once again, sir. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. I request all of you to be seated. I'll take, I have announcement after the session. So thank you, sir.